Plans by the Maori Party to go to Fiji fell foul of the Prime Minister this week, with John Key ruling out any member of his cabinet making even private visits to the military dictatorship. Now, that, of course, ruled out Dr Peter Sharples, but stepping into his place is Te Tai Tokara MP Honi Harawera. Now, as we know, the relationship with Fiji is somewhat testy right now, and even Dr Sharples accepted today that Mr Harawera may not necessarily be the best choice, as he tends not to be the most diplomatic. A view even Honi Harawera would probably accept as well. He joins me now live from Wellington. So, Honi Harawera, was that a compliment or a warning?
Bit of both, I suspect, Mark.
Listen, won't you going to Fiji effectively can be turned into a propaganda exercise by a man who rules that country from the end of a gun?
Look, we're going not because he has a military regime. We're going because we are Sons of Maui. We are cousins within the Pacific. We have an obligation to help one another, to share with one another. I'm going on that basis. If I go, that's yet to be decided yet, Mark.
Does that mean, in effect, though, that the government, and same as in Australia, have got it wrong, that by isolating Fiji, you're going about it the wrong way?
Well, I won't say they've got it wrong, but I will say this, Mark. Given that all of the efforts of the New Zealand and Australian government have now brought us to a stalemate, a dead end, the question has to be, do we leave it there? And the answer's got to be, no, we don't. Somebody else has to try and break this impasse, and who better to at least try than the Maori people, the Maori Party, and Maori leaders from Aotearoa. Why not try?
Do you think in that sense that it may actually suit John Key to have you do this in a non-official sort of way when the government can't be seen to make those visits themselves?
Well, I don't know necessarily that the government has the ability to make this kind of a move, because our relationship is not based on us having any government authority. It's just a relationship of... An uncle of mine was on the radio and he said, Mena mauiui ana tō whanaunga me haere koe te kite iaia. If your relation is not feeling well, go and see him. It's as simple as that. And we want it to be on that basis. It is not to be seen as support for Bainimarama's regime or for his politics. It's about the relationship between Maori and Fijian people.
Sure. If you do go, though, how's this going to work? Because the media there is controlled, there's censorship. I mean, when I was there was no mention of anything to do with what was happening at the time. How are Fijian people going to even know that their Pacific cousins, if I can put it like that, are actually going to be there?
Actually, a lot of them already know that it's possible. A lot of them, we've had phone calls, we've had emails from Fiji. We know that Fijians in this country have been talking to us and talking to their own relations back home. If it goes ahead, it's not going to be a big surprise to anybody back there.
If you accept it, as you said, that it is important, if you like, to visit the family when they are not well or when things aren't well, wouldn't it have been equally important that someone of the mana, if you like, of Dr Sharples went as well?
I think it'd be great if Dr Sharples went, and there's no guarantee that he doesn't go. I'm certainly hoping that he will go, because he's actually toured the Pacific on a number of occasions. Even before he was the leader of the Maori Party, he's well respected throughout the Pacific. I would love to go to support him. So, if he can't go, I'm hoping others can. So
when you say you would like him to go, does that mean you'd like him to defy John Key, or you'd like some arrangement to be worked out?
No, I'd like him to accept the importance of his role as the leader, or as the co-leader of the Maori Party, and to see that as being as important as his role as a minister in this cabinet.
You said you want to speak to the Fijian people. Do you also want to speak to the military commander, the interim Prime Minister, Frank Bainimarama, as well?
I think we'd have to be able to speak to him, because he mightn't let us into the country otherwise, Mark. But we'd like to talk to the Council of Chiefs. I have a lot of my own networks over there, as do other people. And there's a whole range of emails coming in suggesting who we should be talking to if we do go, as well as emails suggesting we shouldn't even go. So we've yet to balance all of that up. We've asked MFAT for a briefing on Fiji and the position of the New Zealand government, and we are talking to parties all throughout Aotearoa about how best this can be managed.
Okay, Honi Harawera, thanks very much for your time. I hope you do get there. Others, of course, have been invited over there on promises and which haven't eventuated, so good luck. Honi Harawera.